Hello everyone. Today I would like to talk about how to keep your pollen alive, your Atemoya, Cherimoya, and Annona. I know it's late in the season to talk about pollinating. I've been wanting to do this video for a while, but it just every time when I'm trying to shoot the video, it just things came up and I couldn't shoot the video. And it's also my first video. So if I'm mumbling, I'm totally new to this, so bear with me. But there's something that I learned this year, and I'm totally new to growing Atemoya and hand pollinating. Most of my fruit tree, I do not have to hand pollinate, and I'm learning a lot, and I would like to share this with the audience. Going back to keeping your pollen alive, I spent hours watching YouTube, trying to find what is the secret to keeping the pollen alive, because I follow everything to the T. And for the first 5 weeks, daily, morning, evening, night, late at night, staying up and waiting for the male flower to open. I to collect the pollen and save it overnight and pollinate the next morning. Well, when you're spending 5 weeks and nothing took, all my pollinating, it didn't work. And it was so frustrating. Everyone say, refrigerate your pollen and use it the next day. Well, I did exactly what they said, and it didn't take. And it's so frustrated. So I finally found two YouTube based out of Florida, an expert in Florida. He mentioned using desiccant to keep your pollen alive. Well, he's 100% correct, but he didn't go into what really desiccant look like. Well, I did my search, and this is what I found. It comes in a little, I'm not sure. It comes in a little package. It's a desiccant silica gel. And you see this a lot when you order shoes or even clothing. And you see those little bags that they throw in, part of your mail order stuff, even medicine, I think. And is to preserve to preserve and absorb all the moisture in the container. And this is what you have to do. You could order this online. They don't sell it at the store. I got mine at Walmart. Amazon have it also, but it was cheaper at Walmart online, not at the store. They don't sell it at the store. So it comes in different size also. So it's up to you what you need and what you use it for. And this is the tray that I also got it at Walmart. And this is the tray that I collect the pollen in. You can see it, I still have it. I just finished pollinating this morning. So, and this is AP2. And all my brushes is also labeled. So what you do is throw a couple package in the tray here and close the lid and put it in the bottom compartment of your refrigerator. And that's the only way. That's the only way for the pollen to stay alive. And earlier this year, I tried everything and it didn't work. It frustrated me so much. And there has to be other things that, the gardener out there is doing correctly, that, they're able to get their Atemoya to produce fruit. So, so it was the desiccant. You could order online. It's so simple. And put it in. If you're using a small container, you could use only one package. Or if you have a tray like what I did, then throw 2 or 3 in the container and refrigerate it. As soon as I use the desiccant, I notice right away, by the end of that week, or a few days later, I noticed the flower start to change. It start to develop fruit. And this is the result of my pollinating using desiccant. If you don't use desiccant, it will die. See, this is my AP2 is bigger. Let me see here. It's bigger than my finger now. Let me see if I could focus it in. And on this tree, and I have another one here, and there's more fruit. And I still, this AP2 produce so many flowers, unbelievable, and still producing, you can see it. Let me see if I could show you. And this is my first year of planting Atemoya. I have 14 different variety of Atemoya. You can see there's 5 on this spot here, or there's 2 little ones. And let me see, yeah. And here is another one up here. Let me see. Yeah, I'm totally new to shooting this video, so bear with me. There's some more up here. On this tree alone, and this is a newly planted tree earlier in April. I purchased this tree at Magnolia Nursery in Southern California. And I live in Paso Robles, California, West Paso Robles, at the elevation of under 2,000, 1,950 elevation. I'm in zone 8B. I know a lot of people say you have to grow subtropical fruit tree only survive in 9B, but I'm in 8B. I have done my research on this weather, and the weather in Paso Robles, in West Paso Robles, let's put it that way. That's where I'm at. And I found that I could grow a lot of fruit here, including subtropical, and they survive. And I do have some Atemoya tree that I purchased last fall, or the end of last summer, actually. And they survived the winter here, the worst winter we had since I've been here. We've been here for 9 years, and last year was one of the worst we had. We had 3 days of snow, and the snow stayed on the tree, and none of my tree died. I have so many different variety of citrus, and citrus, longan, lychee, every single one of them survived, including avocado. This different variety of avocado, every one of them survived. None of them died. And it's not only survived, I was totally in shock. Most of my tree didn't burn from the snow sitting on the tree. And I will go more into why they didn't burn. And I lost my thought. It's the weather. The highest that we have here is 112 in the summer, in the middle of the summer, or July and August. And that's the hottest we have. And the winter, the lowest we get is 28 degrees. And even the lowest is, it doesn't stay freezing for a long period of time, but just for a few hours, and then the temperature would warm up every year. And when we first moved here, every nursery, they would tell me, you cannot grow citrus, avocados, bougainvillea, nothing will survive. Well, I proved them wrong, because I have mature citrus tree, all kinds of citrus tree, that survive the weather here. And sorry, I have to move my pollen into the shade while I'm videotaping. So going back to all the nursery in Paso Robles, they would tell me they don't guarantee, and I'm wasting time. I could purchase the plant, but they won't guarantee it. Well, I proved them wrong because every one of my citrus survived. The only time it doesn't survive, if I did not amend the soil. We have calcareous clay soil here in Paso Robles, and but going back to the temperature, I have not have issue with tree dying because of the temperature. All my avocado survived, and if any of this avocado die because of the clay, if I don't plant them on a mound, then and use lots of sand, heavy on the sand, 50% sand, mixed together with native soil and other soil, but have to be sand mixed together. Otherwise, they will die, especially subtropical. Stone fruit, they're extremely hardy. I have peaches, nectarine, apricot, plum, pluot, cherry, everything survive on calcareous soil. And I have hundreds of fruit trees, but I live out in the country and I love subtropical fruit and tropical fruit. So I decided, I'm gonna grow whatever I could grow in this weather at zone 8B. I will grow because I like to have fruit year-round. That was my intention. I don't mind buying fruit at the store, but it's hard. Everything is so expensive nowadays. You buy the fruit, you come home and you bite into it, and it have no flavors, no sweetness, and it end up in the garbage or compost. And I don't like to waste money, so I decided to whatever I could grow at zone 8B, I will grow. And if I could get fruit to grow in the climate of West Paso Robles, I will grow. And that's what my purpose is, having fruit year round. Fruit that will ripe in the fall and winter. In the summer, we have so much fruit we couldn't eat it all. I was donating it, giving it to my friends, or having my friends come over picking the fruit. But then after the summer's over, I have no fruit. So what I found that Atemoya ripe at the end of the summer, in the fall and winter. So and also certain variety of longan, the late I think BQ is the late variety of longan. I also grow longan, lychee, pomelos, jujube, persimmon, different variety of avocado, kiwis, figs, guava, kumquat, loquat, blood orange. I could go on and on. Pears, different variety, the American pear and the Asian pear, I have it all. Raspberry, blueberry, purple asparagus, white sapote. I do have, and my white sapote, I have it for at least 8 years now, and it's producing fruit, and it's wonderful. And this is where I plant my all my fruit tree. Here's my multi-variety pear tree that I did train and doing espalier, shape it, train the branches. You can see it's different. Here's red Bartlett, and then there's another variety. You can see the color is all on one tree. And on this wall, that's what I'm doing. Eventually, I will try to train all my tree so they're growing more like espalier, so it's not taking up my dry in my courtyard for parking. So here's another AP2. I also have Sabodilla Alano. Is new. I don't think Alano will able to handle the winter here, so I have to put it in the garage in the winter. And on the other side of the wall is Gaffner, and that's my the season is over donut peach tree on the other side of the wall. And that's another one. And I still, this is multi-grafted. I still got peaches and nectarine on that one tree. There's 3 different variety, 2 different variety of nectarine and a peach on one tree. So it's not a problem. And that's a lemon tree that I have over there with all the orange tape. That's, I'm grafting an older lemon tree. I'm grafting blood orange and pomelo onto that tree. That's why you're seeing all the orange tag is labeled and dated when I did it. And that's another thing that I would like to talk about. I know a lot of experts out there, they say do not graft in the hot 100-degree weather and or in the middle of the winter. Well, it's nice to have the perfect time to graft, perfect weather. I have 200 acres and lots of time I'm so busy I don't have the time. When I have the cutting and I don't have the time, my cutting have to sit in the refrigerator or in water bucket for a long time, for weeks before I even get around to graft. Here is since I'm here, here's my another this is SSA. That's a cricket SSA that that it took when I pollinate, and using desiccant going back. So this is a young tree, but you can see the fruit on here. That's the proof. So I know it's late in the season to talk about preserving the pollen, but you could try it. You could order it ahead and have it prepared for next season, next year, next spring. So if you new gardener out there, if you're struggling like I did, use desiccant. It's a must. If you want your Atemoya, if you want fruit on your to produce your Atemoya tree to produce fruit, unless you able to, depend where you're at, unless your flower is pollen is open, male and female at the same time, then you're lucky. But most of the time, especially at the beginning of the season, only female open, and then late in the afternoon, that is when the male, it turned into the male flower. And you could collect the pollen and you have to wait till the next morning. And keeping the pollen alive, you have to use desiccant. I'm telling you, I learned the hard way. That's why a lot of my fruit is late, because I didn't discover desiccant until later in the season, and I noticed right away. So going back to the citrus, grafting citrus, I will have a separate video on grafting on severe weather. So if you don't have the time, just refrigerate your cutting or soak them in water, and do not throw it away unless they're totally dry out. Then you could throw them away. But I have successfully grafted, including avocado, on severe weather temperature, and most of my graft took. So I'm gonna go here I was grafting 112 weather. That was the only time I have. I had the cutting earlier, 3 weeks earlier, and I was so busy I can do the graft. Here is my my graft from last month. I'm grafting blood orange onto this lemon tree, and I think I have one branch that I did a pomelo onto this lemon tree also, and some of them I forgot to put the tape on, but it's all on the same day. You can see it. So that would be a separate video on grafting. So don't give up if you're, you know, severe 100-degree weather that it's not gonna work. It does work. And I will go more into detail on that. And here's the proof of my bougainvillea. When every nursery in Paso Robles, San Luis, even San Luis Obispo County, they say you cannot grow bougainvillea as citrus in Paso Robles. It's not going to survive. The weather there is too cold. It's not the cold weather, it's the soil. If you plant semi-tropical, they don't like clay soil or calcareous clay soil. They will die. You have to put sand, amend the soil really good, and most of the tree will survive. Here's the proof. This bougainvillea is 6 years old. I have other bougainvillea on the other side. My house is 7, 8 years old. The flowers stay bloom throughout the whole entire summer until frost, until actually the end of December, and continuous bloom. If you keep fertilizing it, it keep blooming the whole entire summer and fall and winter until the frost hit. When in the winter, when the frost hit, everything will die back. All the flower, all the leaves will die. That doesn't mean the branch is dead. You leave it there until next spring, everything come back. So it doesn't die down to the roots. And this bougainvillea survived 3 days of snow. This is the proof that I'm saying. I'm sharing it with the audience. And I also have longan lychee. They survived the winter without any protection. Hopefully next year, I should have one of my larger longan tree that I plant on the other side over this hill here. Should have produced fruit this year. But this past winter, I had a bunch of wild pig broke into my yard. The front yard, the backyard, the side yard, they were digging, rooting, terrorized. I mean, they made a mess and they did a lot of damage night after night. And the hardest, to shoot and kill them is, they only come out at night. And you're dead tired, you cannot stay up and, catch them or shoot them. And yes, we do have depredation permit. We could shoot and kill 24 hours a day here. Where we have 200 acres, and we also grow grapes. We sell our grapes to Dow Winery and Booker Winery. And here's the front of my house, and I have more Atemoya, different variety. Lisa. Here, this is the little tree that I purchased at the end of last summer online, or mail order through online. And it did produce fruit last year. It did came with fruit, but I accidentally knocked the fruit off the tree. So, and with the crazy weather, it's not really producing fruit this year, but that's okay. I'll wait till next year. The weather is weird everywhere throughout the United States, And that's my Lisa is producing fruit also. You can see it. And that's my graft. There is another one of my Gaffner that I purchased, Cherimoya, and I graft the cutting onto that little tree, so it's still very young. And there's another one of my Lisa multi-variety of graft that I did. And I have all kinds of fruit here. I have over a dozen, what you call it, persimmon. Fuyu persimmon, and then the other soft variety persimmon, the American persimmon. That's my, the tree right there. That's my Asian pear. And the little tree over there is a longan that should be producing fruit next year. When I purchased the tree this year, they told me it already had fruit last year. I have different variety. I think I have 3 different variety of longan and 4 or 5 different variety of lychee. They survive the winter here. Nothing die. They come back every year. Actually, I'm talking about the lychee and longan. They didn't die. They survived the 3 days of snow without any protection. So I'm just sharing this with the audience, and I will have more video of grafting and different variety of fruit tree that I have, in my yard. And I have huge yard. I think I have probably 3 acres of yard space. And I just want to share it with the audience. And I also will have a video on soil, how to amend your soil. So if you trying to plant stuff on clay soil, that will be a separate video. So if you like this video, please subscribe, and there will be more video. And this is also my first video, so I will improve. Hopefully the more I do it, the better I get at shooting video. So if you like, subscribe. Thank you. And here's my longan.